Hey guys, Marsing here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be looking at the new INT LR Spirit Bomb Goku against the Fusion ZAMASU Red Zone stage. Obviously this is going to be an interesting one for him, considering the fact that he is a unit that does get a pretty significant amount of his defense from his super attack. Not just the effect, but obviously from his passive. So of course those kind of units not really well designed to be good against AoE bosses. So be interesting to see how well he gets on. We do have a good starting setup here at least. We can get the support for Bulma, which will obviously carry over to the next turn. I don't think I need to use an item here on the first turn. I was going to say, as long as like Vegeta and Trunks aren't taking a super in slot 1, we should be okay. Okay, there we go. So they get a couple of hits, get their defense up a little bit. Now they get to super and get their defense up. I mean, I guess if the Buu duo eat a super, we would take a decent amount of damage as well. It is crazy to think, like, how many of the units in this game that can still be very good will just take an absolute ton of damage from this Zamasu in the first turn if you don't have an item active, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, the Buu duo, this is an interesting fight for them. Like, I've used them a few times now on different team builds in this fight, and they can be quite interesting because they put out some pretty big numbers. If you get a couple of supers off with them, obviously they do build up their defense to be a pretty reasonable level, but they still ideally, like, you don't want them to be eating a super in the first turn, because here we got 3 out of the possible 4 supers. So for their passive, in terms of their stacks, they're only stacking up crit chance, which obviously is useful, but is not really the best defensively, right? It's why the GT duo, the fact they stack up damage reduction, makes them considerably more valuable. I have, of course, just realised, though, I thought, you know, oh, this first turn's not too bad, actually. And now I've realised that the second rotation is literally both the GT duos and then the INT Goku. So that's actually a pretty terrible start. So we'll see how we go. We get the support memory go off here straight away. So we are getting the Pure Saiyan's support buff. So we should be looking okay. I mean, look at these start of turn numbers. I guess we'll put the guest in slot 1. I mean, we don't really have a choice here but to go ahead and pop the Whis. I mean, Goku's got a decent amount of ki here at the start of the turn at least, so we can go ahead and do this. He does share 5 links. I've been link leveling him obviously since I pulled him yesterday, which has gone pretty well, as you can see. We're not super far off of him being finished. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then we'll do this. Now, depending on the additionals that the GT duo gets in slot 1 here, Goku might actually be able to finish him off, which would obviously be really good, right? Because then he gets his finishing blow buff ready for the second phase. The second phase is going to be the most interesting because, of course, Fusion Zamasu really does put the screws to INT units who are not great at taking AoEs, because not only do you have the first phase that has the AoEs, but then the second phase where he hits even harder is physical. So what I really want to see is if this Goku post-super attack will at least tank Zamasu's normal attacks, which I think he will, right? Because he does get a huge amount of defense, especially if you are getting the minimum, is it 21 ki, where he gets the extra 100% attack and defense. His defense should be high enough for him to tank normals from Zamasu without an item active for double-digit damage, right? But we'll have to see. So we'll see how this pans out. 14.4 million is his attack stat here. Bear in mind, again, mine's only 55% as well. So it's where the lack of crit and the bad rotation comes in, right? We did have the Bulma support from the previous turn as well, but if we'd had a slightly better unit to link with him in slot 3, you know, maybe a dupe or 2 so he can have some crit, he might have actually got the finishing blow here. But these kind of events now that we're getting, or have gotten quite a few of, where there's like 2 phases, getting the finishing blow with these characters is not only more difficult, but it becomes so much more impactful, because if we miss it, that's it, right? There's now no opportunity for him to get the finishing blow. Now, at least for this Goku, all it's giving him is ki and extra attack. Which when it comes to like, you know, the more difficult events, right, we would much rather he has more defense, which he's not getting from that anyway, so it doesn't really matter as much. But yeah, I definitely don't want to be putting God Goku, Vegeta and Trunks not in slot 1, right? I want them to be getting all of those buffs. We'll get the things for you, and then ideally we just need to hope that he doesn't super in slot 3, and then we will be fine on this rotation. But supering in slot 3 obviously is like instant death for the... Oh, actually, no, we used the Whis on turn 2, didn't we? So yeah, we should be fine here regardless, I think. The Buu Duo... I don't know, do they live his super attack at the end here with a Whis active? I mean, we got 3 supers in the first turn. We should hopefully get at least 2 or 3 in this turn. So I guess it depends. Best case scenario, obviously, is that he supers God Goku and God Goku dodges, but God Goku does at least have his guard. This is his first turn, though, right? He was in slot 7, so his defense isn't exactly going to be stacked up super high. He gets the guaranteed additional super, at least, because we did get the 6 orbs, but I'd appreciate a 3rd super as well. That would help. But ideally, we just want him to dodge, right? If there is going to be a super attack. So we do get the 3rd super. Not crazy attacks, right? We don't have any of the like godly power links or anything like that active, but still able to chip away at Zamasu's health here. And then a couple of non-dodges. Oh god, he didn't super. Is he really going to super them? Don't do this. Don't do me like this. Alright, so they got the extra one from their passive that could potentially only have been a normal, and then we have enough ki that they should get the guaranteed extra super from that part of their passive as well. So we've got another super coming in guaranteed, and then of course we have the chance for the hidden potential as well. Every little helps, right? We got the Whis active as well, but I'll take another stack from the super attack. Perfect. Alright, so I mean the Buu Duo is still able to put in some work, but again, like they're not a unit that's going to be eating supers from these big bosses most of the time. But, okay, we are good. Alright, so I think what we do then for this turn is we put Bulma in slot 1, and we get our orbs here to give the support. What do I want to get? Yeah, we can get 6, or well, she needs 7 to get the extra attack, doesn't she? So we'll do that. Give everyone the orbs. Goku gets to 23 ki. Can I get him to 24? No. We'll take 23 then. Well, actually, no. He's going to get the extra ki because I'm going to do this, right? So go ahead and use the standby into GT Vegeta. So now we're getting 80% extra attack and a bunch of extra ki. And then even if he does get supered, we should still live. So Bulma should be fine in slot 1, right? It's only turn 4. So even if she gets super attacked by Zamasu here, we should be okay. So let's see what Goku is able to do here in terms of not only damage. I mean, obviously, again, at 55%, mine has some crit thanks to skill orbs. But this will be Goku's real drawback against the physical boss is by not having any built-in crit or anything like that, he's going to do a big attack stat on this turn. But if he doesn't crit, he's not going to do that much damage. So he's not going to have a huge impact here unless he does actually get a crit. Don't super attack him. I mean, I know we'll live because of the revive, but... So yeah, just shy of 17 million. Can we get the crit? We don't crit, so... 368! Oof. That was with his full passive, with the Bulma support. Damn, that is... That is more than I expected. And he didn't super that turn, so he hadn't raised his attack either. Damn, because if we go back to his... Obviously, I didn't look at his defense start of turn, but he greatly raises defense on his super, which is a 50% raise. And then his... Ooh, go back to his passive. He gets 100% when performing a super attack when facing one enemy. And he gets attack and defense 100% when ki is 21 or more, which it was. So that was like his best turn without an item active. That was like his best turn in terms of his base defense. And he took 380k from Zamasu. Now, obviously, type disadvantage does add a huge amount to the damage. I'd have to double check exactly what it is. Because I think physical Zamasu does, is it 600 or 700k damage normals? So I guess to be fair, against the physical enemy with that multiplier, it's like over, is it just over 1 million? So I suppose, actually, I guess, to be fair, taking 300k from an attack that would do 1,000,000 damage is not actually terrible, but damn. I was hoping it would be a little bit less than that. And of course, now we are here in this scenario where this will just be the end now, right? Because he didn't super, though, still. So I'm a bit concerned about him supering Goku, Vegeta and Trunks in the first slot here. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll trust in God Goku. But, I mean, this is going to be the end of the run, right? So, another problem with this Goku is some of his better teams are going to be the teams that are the more powerful. But then other units on that team are just going to steal the show, right? Like, we are going to either die to this super if we don't dodge. Or we're going to win. And then we're not going to get another turn with Goku. So, Goku is in a very weird spot. Especially, again, if you're in a situation like me where I've pulled the one copy, I don't want to do any more summons, right? So he's 55%. He could be better with some dupes, right? Get some crit in there, so we're actually doing some damage. But obviously for this event in particular, not just because he's not super good against the AoEs, but obviously we saw his performance against the normal attacks once you get to the physical phase. He's just not a unit that you're going to want to run in this event. Now, I am going to do a follow-up video, probably drop it tomorrow. I don't want to do too many videos all of the same thing in the same day because we've got all the Vegeta and Goku event missions and stuff to do still as well. I do want to do a video using him against the first form Cell, because obviously that fight is tech all the way through, straight from the start, so I think he could be very useful there. But I mean, I guess I was going to say the problem is with Cell, and you could still make the argument about Fusion ZAMASU as well, but it's like, is anyone doing the Cell stage anymore? Because like you beat it that one time and then that's it, right? Fusion ZAMASU. Now you can say that about any red zone stage. If you're somebody who just likes to get the things done and then you maybe don't play as often and stuff like that, right? But for, you know, it's not just for content creators that like to replay these stages and go in with new units and stuff like that. So ZAMASU, I feel like, is an event that people are still playing a bit more and testing out new units in. Maybe not so much for the other stages. Although I guess Fusion ZAMASU is annoying in that sense because, you know, his AoEs and everything do make a whole bunch of the other units almost unrunnable, right? Whereas at least some of the other stages you don't have to worry about that as much. So we'll try him out against First Form Cell, but yeah, not the greatest performance for the INT Goku, I'm afraid. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.